Growing up in an African home, one of the things I wish I had seen more often was unfiltered communication. How the elderly and the young combine their unique levels of knowledge and experiences to tackle complex topics such as weight stigma, postpartum depression, parental favoritism, suicide, sterility, inter-ethnic marriages, and many more. This is what Heart2Heart is all about. Beyond giving an ear to high-profile men and women during one-on-one interviews, its purpose is to inspire listeners from all walks of life with stories of transparency from everyday people who overcame their world by looking within. Welcome to Heart2Heart with Divine Keren. Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Heart2Heart podcast. Divine Keren here.
Kgosi over here.
And we are in the month of making assertive decisions. In the previous episode, we talked about...
So basically, new year, new me-ish. So expectations, setting realistic expectations, finding yourself, not overstretching yourself, and being realistic with yourself from within, so that everything that you do on the external will never leave you without.
And if you didn't understand anything he said, it's okay, because today is a new episode. And today we're learning how to say no.
Yeah, this is very important, guys. Like, standing up for yourself is one of the most important things that you can do in life, business, relationships, but I think let's center it around, just life in general, day-to-day life,
Saying no is not easy. The one thing I've realized about adulting is that it's easy to set boundaries with people you know are toxic. But the moment it becomes people you love, people you need, now that's completely different. I don't know, what has your experience been with the whole black texting? And I think you need to define it for some people because it's,
So basically, it's been a term that's been commonly used to define sending money home, being responsible for certain responsibilities within your family structure or at home, constantly having to be the financial aid for your family, the financial support for your family. And remember that as most of us Africans, there are people who maybe grew up in money, but for most of us, we were looking at life through a first-time lens. So maybe grandparents and parentals didn't have the opportunities, access to money that we now have. So now that we have that access to money, now it becomes very difficult to enjoy that money on your own. Because you gotta be sending money home, or you gotta be the financial aid and structure for your family.
And sometimes it's not even the finance, sometimes it's just the emotional load. Perhaps your family has faced a particular trauma in the past, and because the one person who was there who could take care of everybody emotionally is no longer in the picture, now you have to step in and you have to be like that therapist for everybody, and that can get very, very exhausting because you can only give what you have. So saying no, I think it's important. There are ways to say no, like you don't have to be rude about it. There are different angles to take, like I can't assist right now. Could we perhaps postpone it for another time, or could I recommend somebody else for now? I don't know.
But remember that not all family members are the same. So you also have family members that are aggressive and pushy. Like, I know how much you earn, and I'm asking you just for a chicken licken, 12-piece fella, just a chicken licken, and I know how much you earn,
Yeah.
So
that's dangerous. Yeah.
Chicken licken can be, but you know what I mean.
So imagine this scenario, right? So you've proposed to the love of your life, right? And you've finally moved in with her, and you're taking care of her. You're popping some cash for her to fix her wig. Right. But now your family comes in and is like, no, you have completely forgotten about us.
What am I supposed to do? I'm moving on with my life, And this is what I feel a lot of families don't understand. This is across all across all races around the world, right? Families find it difficult to understand the fact that you're developing a nuclear family.
Yeah.
Emphasis on new and nuclear.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a brand new family that you're creating within your family. So I'm urging, if you know that you are guilty of this, try to be easy on some of your family members who are no longer spending as much time with you because they're busy creating a brand new future that is part of your legacy.
And in no way are we encouraging the cancel culture.
No.
We're not saying
canceling that
we're not saying that now that you're starting a new chapter in your life that you completely forget about where you're from. You completely forget about the people who have made a lot of effort for you to be where you are, who have made tons of sacrifices for you to be raised in the way that you are. We're saying, let us have boundaries, let us have discipline in the way that we receive and the way that we give. Because without discipline, you're gonna go crazy.
And that's the thing, so never discipline. That can lead to disappointment.
Oh, that's the title of a book.
No, you know this.
Oh, come on.
No, but the thing with discipline is also that, it'll also help you. When saying no to, especially someone that you love, being disciplined to walk out of that room, and don't look back and know that it's for the greater good. But what we're also saying is that don't be stingy. If you know you can and you've got a family member that is in need, do it. That's how you're going to create a culture of giving. And this is what we need, especially as us as Africans. We need this. We need to be able to just give that community member who's across the road, give that stranger, even if it's a person you don't know. We've set up too many cultural barriers. We've set up too many geographical, country and nationality barriers.
But one thing that I have noticed, and this is particularly very common with faith, is that we think a lot before we give, right? Because we are afraid of loss in a way. Like if I give to my neighbor, will I have enough for myself, right? So my question to you in that regard is, like, how do you know you're ready to give a lot?
By giving a little.
Okay.
Because, as the good book says as well, if you trust with the Lord, you trust with a lot as well. And I believe that that's because, your God, so who you're praying to is looking at your heart at all times. And this is across all faiths. Your God is constantly looking at your heart. And when you give, something happens in the spiritual realm. And that's the most important part about giving. Because, especially as Christians, when we give, what we're doing is, when two or more gathered, there he is. So we're creating a bond. There is
some form of exchange.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's an exchange of love and then an exchange of gratitude that ends up defining itself as a blessing.
I've also found that there are a lot of men who are debating that they don't want to be the only givers in their marriage. Why is it always me who's got to buy her a gift, and I only get special treatment on my birthday or something like that?
My homie, listen, if it's not you, trust me, it might be somebody else. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Disappointment.
No, but I think it's whether it's marriage or any other relationship for that matter of fact, it's 100-100.
Listen,
100-100.
Why wouldn't you want to give? Then don't get married to her. Leave her in the market, because there will be someone who'll pick her up and will take care of her.
Yeah.
You're taking this woman from her family, her livelihood, and everything, and putting her in a toxic environment. Because if you're not giving, then you're taking.
Yeah.
And what you're taking is possibly a lot of who she is.
And I just want to, speak to the ladies out there, whether you're single or, you're in a relationship. Like, don't be afraid to treat people in a special manner. Please forgive my brother. He's doing amazing things right now. But
I just heard the if you're single part.
And the nice thing about the word giving, it's found in the word forgiving. you know.
I love
And
that so
when you're
much.
forgiving someone, you're giving or you're
goodness.
restoring perhaps that trust that was broken when a particular mistake happened. So the giving never stops.
Sure.
It continues even in the forgiving. Yeah, basically.
Man. Yo, that just touched my heart. Yo,
I know. I'll be here all year.
From trying to mac on honeys, to like just being like, whoa, God, that was so beautiful.
We're encouraging you to give, but with discipline and with boundaries. What about friends?
So, this is the most important part, right? Setting boundaries will determine what type of friend this is.
Okay.
Right? So know who you're friends with and know how much you should give that person. Here, don't be shy to say no. Because this person grew up with me, this person doesn't share the same bloodline. So, you know what I mean? And
no, seriously. Yeah. And one thing I've noticed, not just saying no with regards to how much you give to a person, but just saying no in general. There was a particular incident that happened in high school. Right, so we were nerds and we had this party, you know, chick out there, and she's like, "No, you guys join me in my atmosphere," you know. So we went there without studying or anything. Next day, my G. Okay, that test. Flames. Show us
and the flame starts with an F.
Yes, which is also a good letter for the word failure, which we did. We failed that test. However, she made it. So the funny thing, you think that you're protecting the other person's feelings by saying no, but what you're actually doing, you're harming yourself, because technically they have the advantage when they have your yes.
That's it. And people take advantage, man. We've got this taking advantage culture that's taking place right now. Like people, that's why, guys, like when you're picking your friends, pick someone who you can see in the mirror. Every single day in the mirror. Pick that person. So the person who is gonna hold you down, is gonna be there for you when you're crying, is gonna call you for no reason. You know, not just to go out for lunch or whatever, just someone who's just gonna genuinely want to know how you're doing.
Please, guys, we need to stop living in this generation where most of the text messages we receive are from Telcom Mobile. Okay? And they come from faithful people. Be loyal. You know? It's very hard to find loyal people.
One line, Telcom, guys.
It's very hard to find loyal people in the 21st century. Especially people who share in your vision and also know, I like this. People who know how much you need to put into your dream for it to come true. Because it's not everybody who's into the whole making sacrifices. Right? Because at some point, when you're giving to everyone, you have to give back to yourself. And in full measure. You can't be out there giving in full measure to everyone, but when it comes to you, your cup is half full. Or it has nothing at all. You know? So invest in yourself as much as you're investing in others. I mean, the Bible technically says you need to love yourself as you love your neighbor. So basically, loving yourself is the foundation of loving your neighbor.
So that's it. Love your God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. That's it, 100%.
Absolutely.
And that's all love. Like, all we're doing is just spreading love.
Love.
Yeah, man. And we love you guys. So stay tuned. Definitely subscribe. So stay tuned for more content. I mean, we're approaching the month of love.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Pink.
You know, so we're definitely going to be coming through with some extracurricular kind of content that's going to be...
Woo! And get ready for some sassy, interview.
Yes. We're going to bring through some dope people.
Yes, and we're really keen on having a conversation with them. So if you know, especially couples that have been together for many years,
there we go.
And you know that their advice could be enriching to our audience, don't be afraid to tag them in your comments and say, hey, can you check them out? I think that they would be really great for the show.
And even if you are chilling as a single person and you'd like to find out maybe a couple of tips, and maybe just something that can help you find love, maybe you've been Tindering, swiping left and right, and it hasn't been really working out.
Yeah, does it ever?
So you're feeling a little tender.
You need to stop with this wordplay.
already know. So basically, just we always encourage you, just be a part of the show. This is not just us speaking to you.
Yeah.
We want you to be a part of the show. Speak back through the comment section. DM us on our social platforms. I mean, here's my handle. Here's her handle. Just hit us up.
Yes, we appreciate your constructive criticism.
Yes.
So that is love from us to you, and we hope that you continue to join us for the rest of the year because we've got loads of surprises packed for us. Alright, so this is goodbye. Adios.
Adios, amigos.